All right. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Morning, everyone. How we doing? Margin. What's going on? New song for the time being. On the mobile setup. Buenos dias. Man, tough night, huh? Tough night. Morning, morning, morning. Rangers. Hey, it's not over till it's over, John. It's not over till it's over. Game 7. That's what we're betting on. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Live stream Friday. Friday. Should be an interesting day. Wiseman's have a nice beard and I'm mate. Yeah, I drove from Belmar to Hoboken yesterday. About an hour drive to go to the game. Took the path with a buddy. Then I had to drive home at oh man, that was a tough drive home. The eyes were definitely heavy last night. Tough drive home there. Morning, everyone. How we doing? Alrighty. So, yesterday, nice morning long off the daily 20 on the SPY, and a nice profit on some trades. Took some profits at almost the perfect time. Had some runners on that 20 SMA and held some overnight, so possibly going to lose a little bit on the runners. But that's normal. That's always what I do. I'll always hold a few runners, and if something looks like it could continue, and if I have to give back a little bit of action, then so be it. HIMS yesterday paid huge. Congrats on HIMS, guys. Pulled back a little bit towards end of day, but definitely a nice intraday trade there. Kava, badass on Kava as well. So there was some nice action yesterday. Of course, the end of day rejections came in. We saw that end of day downside off our key level, right off our ES 5275. That was right off that 5275 level. That was the last Thursday's lows. Right about here. All right, so we had that 5275 supply that we did trade up into and just failed, and that was a nice, right? Made a lot of sense there. That downside that came in late day. That was our Thursday low we were talking about. We went higher, we rejected, we went higher again, and ultimately just could not get over it. So very nice, right? Little end of day slide there off the 5275. Pretty clear failure there. And now there's some clear failures again this morning. And then some key Nasdaq levels that we got to be watching. So we'll see. We'll see. It looks like we definitely gave up the 20 SMA on the ES, and now we are at the 20 SMA on the Nasdaq. So some key levels to watch today. I think very clear levels. The 5250 on ES today looks very clear to watch this pre-market. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, Dell was up so much in the earnings. I'm not that surprised to see it down. Now, it is down a lot, so interesting there. But, man, Dell was just straight up in the earnings. So, a little bit of downside over there on Dell. How about the Rangers? Yeah, tough game for the Rangers. Tough game. Yeah, sucks. But, hey, it ain't over till it's over. Game 7, man. Yeah, I mean, SPX or the SPY is down. I mean, it's down this morning, of course. We'll see what it does, but was able to take off 2/3 on the push yesterday, so that was good. Always taking profits, man. Always taking profits. Got to, because you see these. You never know if something can maintain all day, and yesterday we saw it not do that. So, got to protect yourself against that. That's got to be a habit we build. All right. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. We're here every single day. Whether we're traveling, whether we're out way too late the night prior, we're still here. Always show up. That's the key. All right, guys. Let's get started. So, let's start with the economic calendar today. We'll pull that in here. And today, we got 830 PCE price index. So let's see if there's anything on this PCE price index today. Personal income, personal spending, Chicago PMI 945, and that's pretty much it until the end of the week, guys. So PCE price index, personal income, personal spending to start the morning here at 8:30. After that, Chicago PMI about 15 minutes into open. So that is our morning. This damn door, man. It keeps trying to lock itself. It's got like this auto lock feature and it's just broken. Anyways, PCE price index, personal income, personal spending, Chicago PMI. That's our economic calendar for the day. Yesterday, we'll talk about real quick a few earnings that did come out. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Here we go. So, yesterday, we had Costco, Dell, MRVL, MongoDB, Ulta, and some of them did good, some of them did terrible. So let's pull up, I think Costco, flat on cost. But Costco's also been up astronomical over the last year. I mean, this year, 2024 for Costco has been a fantastic move. So Costco stays strong. Dell, we saw that downside. We'll talk about that later in the live stream. MRVL, holding up pretty well post earnings. Holding up decent post earnings. MRVL. We can keep an eye on this one. Actually, maybe we'll look at this later at the 74 level. MongoDB. MongoDB is, what's MongoDB again? It is MDB. Okay, yeah, I had it right. MongoDB down heavy. Heavy post earnings. You guys can see right here. Big drop post earnings. This is almost, we're down at 241. Yeah, I mean, MongoDB pretty much gave back everything of this year already. And aggressive downside towards that 241. Yeah, so we're all the way down here to start today at a pretty key demand. This 240, 241 level on MongoDB. So big drop there. And then Ulta did well. Ulta, nice bounce after some of this aggressive downside that we've seen. The last earnings caused Ulta downside. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a relief here on this one. So not really stocks I watch, guys, but just showing you that for just for your own purposes. But yeah, not really interested in trading those names today so much. Maybe next week we look to see how those earnings, those post-earning moves continue. But for now, sticking to our normal stuff, normal names, normal watches on the futures. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. We do this every single day, starting at 8 o'clock. And here is the major watch of the day for me. Major watch of the day for me is the Nasdaq here at the daily 20 SMA. So here we go. I know it's a little bit zoomed out right now, but I want to make sure I can show you everything to start, and then we'll zoom back in. For now, on the Nasdaq, what you can see is this general attempt of a hold at that daily 20 SMA. That's right at this 18,520, 18,500, really you could call it 18,500, right in there, 18,500, and that daily 20 SMA looks to be a level that is attempting to hold right now, right? We can see this 18.5, you can see those attempts higher, and you can see that daily 20 SMA trying to hold on. I'll zoom in on this in a second. Now, the level that we need to get above to think that this can actually continue higher is 18,570, okay? We had 18,570 lows, and if we zoom in on the short term, if you go to the 15-minute, right, you can see right here, 18,570, right there. All right, and those lows, I can go back if you want to see those real quick. I got to get more time. Right here. So if we zoom in on this, this is May 17th. This is a Friday, and we can see right here on May 17th, we had a hold of that 18,570, okay? Key level. Now, if we zoom over to where we are now, let's go to 18,570. Look at where 18,570 is right now as we speak. That is right where the market is rejecting in the pre-market, okay? So, the NASDAQ needs to get above this level today. If the NASDAQ can hold above 18,570, I think you can push into the 635. The 635 was, right, we talked about 635 yesterday. That was our key hold. That's the must-hold level for the bulls. That was our must-hold level for the bulls. I'll go ahead and go to what we typed up here yesterday. Let me go to it here. So right here, right? 18,635, 18,720 demand zone. This was a must-hold for the bulls. That 635 low. A break below is 18,635. Puts us in low volume straight up move. After a break under 18,635 could bring downside into 18,550 and the daily 20 SMA at 18,490, right? So we talked about this yesterday. We said if we break under that 18,635 on the NASDAQ futures, we have really no support until 18,490, 18,500. And that is pretty much exactly what the NASDAQ did, right? We tried to hold 635 early morning. We did not late day. And this drove us right down into 570 and right down into the 490, 500. So very textbook downside there on the NASDAQ yesterday, right? Really no major, question marks as to why it did drop. We broke our 635, and we talked about that move into the 500, into the 20 SMA. So very nice there, very nice downside. And for now, we can see that our levels are responding as of now, right, in the pre-market. So we can see right here, we are holding that 500. We are trying to hold that 20 SMA right here, that daily 20. But we need to get above the 570. If we fail to break above 570 today, we could just see sort of this relative weakness under 570, and we'll have to be watching what we do with this 500. If we do get above that 570 today, then I think you can trade back into the 635. But the 635 is possibly that major rejection point that I would be watching. Now let me show you why. So I'll show you right here on the hourly chart. This could be a really nice rejection spot today, right here. 18,635. Yesterday low, 18,635 before the flush. If we do pop today into that 635, is this the next rejection point, right? So big watch there. 18,635 today. If we get a little bit of relief off that 20 SMA today on the NASDAQ, we need to be careful of being long into this, because this could be that rejection spot. This could be that retest of those lows that could reject again. If we are able to reclaim this level today, if we're actually able to reclaim this level today and have a strong reaction off that daily 20, then I think you could get some more continuation back into that 760. Okay? So it's really just level to level today. 18,570 is number 1. 18,635 is number 2, right? And then number 3 is 18,760. Those are our 3 levels to the upside that we need to be careful of for potential rejections on this Nasdaq. Now, if we do break the 18.5 today, right, make sure you pay attention to this. If we do break below that 18.5 hold from this pre-market, there is no support here until 18,400. Okay? The next shelf of support is right here. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. I'm going to zoom in on this little day right here. Right? Look at this. We had 18.4 and we had pretty much straight up. So right now we're at this 18.5 level. If we break below the 18.5 today, I think you will come down into that 18.4. Okay, so that is something definitely to watch today. If you're looking for some downside today, I would be very focused on whether this 18.5 gives up. Because if it does, I think you'll be able to catch nice downside into 18.4. That is a big watch today. Make sure you're paying attention to that. So pretty defined levels. Pretty defined levels here. Let's do one more review real quick. 18,570, 18,635, 18,500, 18.4. Very defined levels. Do we see rejections and breaks under 18.5? Do we see holds above 570 for a push into 635? Right? This is what we're watching. 18.5, 18.4, 18,570, 18,635. All right? All right. QQQ. Very similar read here. Right? Very similar read. This is that Thursday low. This is that low from yesterday that tried to hold 452 on the QQQ. Right? This is your Thursday low. And if we zoom in on the 5-minute, we can see yesterday morning, right, we had that 452 hold. Now that 452 hold, where did it move into? It moved into our 450, and that was right here, right? Right here, you had 450 previous lows, and look at that rejection that did come in. Very nice. 450, definitely going to be a key rejection spot to keep an eye out for. 452 would be a level that I would need the QQQ to get above today to even consider any strong upside, right? I need the QQQ back above that yesterday low, back below, or back above that rejection point. Look at how clean this little flip happened. And if you were trading late yesterday, probably not, because it's sort of after close, pretty much right into close. I mean, look at how clean this hold intraday turned into a late day rejection. Very nice little flip there on the QQQ. So it's pretty obvious now that you're going to want to see that QQQ above 452, right? It's pretty obvious that you're going to want to see that QQQ above this level to really trust any upside continuation. Because if we do push higher today and we start to see rejections here, this is potentially another short entry at these levels right here. So 452, very important on the QQQ. And right now in the pre-market, you can see 451. So you have 451, you have 452. Very key levels above. And very possible failure spots to be cautious of. To the downside, we're at the path. Okay? We are at the path. The path is previous all-time highs. And that is exactly where we're holding in the pre-market today. And we talked about this yesterday. You guys remember us putting PATH on our charts, the path. What was that level? That is the previous all-time high. Let me go ahead and show you real quick. We went like this. We went like this, right? And we showed you on the daily chart the previous all-time high at 449.34. That is right here, right? Previous daily chart all-time high back in March. If we go into the 15-minute chart now, we can see that is the exact level that is trying to maintain. So, very big level, right? Without a doubt. Very big level without a doubt. If we fail to hold that previous all-time high, we are back below the highs in March. And that is definitely a flip, right? If you see the market fail back below those all-time highs, that is definitely a flip, and that could definitely drive some downside momentum. So that is going to be crucial today. Into end of week, do we close this week back below March's highs, or do we close this week on a hold above it? Very crucial sort of just feel for the market, right? Very crucial there. So that's a big watch today. QQQ, previous all-time highs, 449.34. Let's make sure we're paying attention to that. Below there, we have that 20 SMA and that 447 demand. But I think this is going to be the most crucial level of the day, that 449.34. ES. So, I mean, just pretty textbook stuff. Now, of course, I wasn't watching the market this late. I rarely ever am, which, sometimes makes me miss out on opportunities. But there's a trade-off for me, guys. That's just how I live. The trade-off is I'll try to make some money in the morning, and I will enjoy the freedoms that trading provides. Of course, there's times where I look back and I say, damn, could have really caught that rejection. That happened around 1:30, 2 o'clock yesterday. So, that's just is what it is, right? Some people like to stick around for that late day move. Some people like to get the hell off the charts, because from experience, I can tell you, sometimes you'll see that late day move, but more oftentimes than not, you sticking around too long ends up in stupid decisions. So yesterday, nice opportunities later day, perfect rejection. I mean, just 52.75. This was our chart from yesterday. I'll go ahead and pull this in. This was how we had I screenshot our levels every day from the live stream. This was our live stream levels yesterday, right? We talked about if the market could get higher, watch out for 52.75, and that was right there. I mean, that was the perfect level, right? So 52.75, we had that on our charts yesterday. Very nice rejection spot there, and very textbook stuff, right? If you caught it, very nice. Camiel, beautiful. Craig, beautiful, man. Microsoft puts off that level, bam. Yeah, very nice, guys. Perfect stuff, right? Way to read it. Way to stay true to that level. So 52.75, nice fail, nice downside. Today, there's a very clear 52.50. There's a very clear 52.50 today. Right there, right there, right here, right here, right here. Look at this 52.50 level to start the day. If we cannot get above 52.50 today, there is zero reason to look long, right? If you say to yourself, am I going to long the market if it's getting stuck under previous day lows, right? That answer should be no, right? If we are stuck under previous day lows, I am not looking to long this market, right? So let's see, right? If we reject 52.50 today, there could be some rejection plays down into that 52.30 level. Very interesting there. A little bit of a tight range, so it's going to be more of a scalper move than anything else, but definitely a possible trade to watch for. Now, if we get above 52.50 and we reclaim that 52.50, all right, then where do you think we push? We're probably going to push right back into that 20 SMA, okay? So if we do see that reclaim of 52.50 and we do start to see some strength here, then we're probably going to see that 52.75, right? We're probably going to see that 52.75, which is that same rejection point from yesterday, which is now also the daily 20 SMA. That could really be, right? That could be the really nice short entry if you're patient, right? If you're patient, if you say to yourself, hey, I want a little bit of relief, I want a couple of, weak bulls to step in here, right? And then see if this rejection comes in again, that could really be the short play to be looking for, right? Back to 52.75, back to the 20 SMA. Look for that failure to step in. And if it does, could be something really to watch today. So keep an eye on that 52.75, that 20 SMA. Keep an eye on that 52.50. See what happens at these two levels. If we break below 52.30 today, me go to the 4-hour chart now. If we break below 52.30, the only support down below here on the ES, if we do break that 52.30, the only support down below on the ES, the key level is 5200, but we do have a little 50 daily moving average there. All right? So you have the 50 daily moving average at 52.16, but I think a break under 52.30 probably gets us moving back towards that 5200. All right? All right, guys, let's continue. SPY. 30-minute chart, SPY. 524.75. Popping up the chart from yesterday from the live stream. You guys can see right here. These were our levels yesterday morning. We had 524.75. Right? This was our previous low at 524.75 that we talked about as a potential rejection point. 524.75. Right? Right there. Right? Perfect. Previous lows. Fail to get above it. Late day. Failure. Bam. Nice short. Nice level. Perfect level there on the SPY. You probably can push that up a little bit today towards like 525. Now that you can see it did sort of reject that 525. So I don't mind pushing that up a little bit. Right? We can sort of adjust our levels. Because if you go into the short term here, you can see it was sort of like the 525 failure right there. That really caused that downside. So I would say adjust that level a little bit to that 525. 30-minute chart. SPY, you can very clearly see the 525 level. That is huge. And today, it's the 523. Okay? Does the SPY, here's the question for you today. Does the SPY get back over 523 and the daily 20? Does the SPY get back over 523 and the daily 20? That's your question mark today. All right? Bam. Big question. Do we reclaim this 20? Or do we see it turn into rejections? And if we see it turn into rejections today, that is definitely a reason to look for further downside into 520. Okay? Major, major question mark today. 523, daily 20 on the SPY. Do we reject it or do we reclaim? And if we reclaim, we trade back into 525. Okay? Big stuff there. Big stuff. Let's wait for the data to come out here. All right, we'll go to the Russell real quick. Go to the RTY right quick. You can see RTY actually outperformed yesterday, right? Outperformed yesterday, which is sort of interesting, right? We saw some of those small caps outperform, and the Russell is actually sort of almost green this morning, right? Nice 100 SMA hold right there on the Russell. You can see that. Nice hold down at that 2035 demand. Guys, I have a clock right in front of me. Okay. There is a clock on TOS that's counting down by the second. All right. Right now it's 8:28 and 57 seconds. Trust me. I see it. 1 minute. So 100 SMA on the Russell, right? You can see it right there. Russell outperformance, something to watch, right? A little bit of Russell outperformance, something to watch. Dow still dead. Pretty dead move on the Dow yesterday. Really nothing. Really no strength. We'll jump into this Dow after the data is released. And I can see it, guys. 8:29, 30 seconds. Right there. All right. Here we go. Where's my water? There it is. Press that like button. Press it. Please. Keep the lights on for me. Okay. Little pop and pop, lock, and drop. Really nothing, huh? Run an ad. Emil. All right, I'll take a look at the email, Emil. All right. A little bit of upside. Nothing crazy. They're building a house next door. Might be a little loud. Hamas, thank you for that. 2.8 versus 2.8. So core PCE in line. Month over month. Slightly lower than forecast. So pretty much in line. Market slightly moving higher. It is above the daily 20. So that is interesting. It is above the daily 20, which is interesting. Not zoomed in enough? You're right. You're right, Michael. Not zoomed in enough. Here we go. This is what every man wishes for right here. Every man and woman trader. But I would say 80% men. This is what they wish for right here. This is all they care about. This is all we care about. This. Give me this. Give me this. Before we continue, I have something I want to talk about real quick. It's an idea that I was thinking about on my drive to Brooklyn last night, or my drive to Hoboken. Would you guys watch a podcast that is just the most lax podcast about trading? Like, tell all, right? Just talk about bullshit. Talk as you would talk to a buddy about your losses, about your stupid shit you've done. I feel like this would help the trading. This would help the trading space, right? I want to do it. Just like invite people on and be like, dude, just be honest, all right? Just talk about bullshit. Talk about stuff you've done. Talk about stuff that you've done wrong. Cause I could talk for hours about it. Right? Just like actually open up. Yeah, some drinks, profanity, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That would be like nothing else, right? I'm tired of watching podcasts that it's like the same thing, right? Like, oh, use risk management. We've heard it all, right? Oh, don't do that. Right, I want to hear like stupid shit that's gone on. Little entertainment. So we'll see. I'm thinking about it. It might be tough to start. Obviously, there's a lot of things to get that going, but will there be any old fashions? I'd love a couple old fashions there. Maybe that would be the drink you have to have when you go on the live stream. You have to drink an old fashioned. All right. So, let's continue. Little pop here. Right? Little pop here. Send me some names. Send me some on Instagram. Follow my Instagram. Send me some names of the podcast, some ideas. What would the name be? Go to my Instagram. Options_insider. Don't get scammed. It's just options_insider. I'll put it in the I'll put the link in the chat. Here. DM me. Something funny. All right. Let's continue. So, SPY, push off of the news, back above the daily 20. We're coming into that 525. 20 SMA on ES, 52.75. Let's watch that. Okay. Nasdaq, 18,635 at our key level there. QQQ. QQQ over 452. Interesting. All right. Thanks for the hymns idea yesterday. Made 3 bands off it. Nice, man. Don't trade today. Get the hell out of here. That's a beautiful way to end your week right there. All right, let's get into some stocks. Press the damn like button. Press it. Here we go. Tesla. Same thing. No changes here on Tesla. Really no changes. 182. 100 SMA. Demand down at 173. So really what you're going to need today on Tesla is a hold over 182, guys. You're going to need a hold over 182. That's it. If you can get over 182, then maybe there's some action we could find here into maybe that 187. But I'd be careful. There's probably much better things to trade today than Tesla. But let's see. Watch 182 on Tesla. That's the same. Really no updates here. Nvidia. All right. She's coming back. Back over 1120 here. A very strong hold of that 1085. A very strong hold of that 1100 on Nvidia. You thought Nvidia was done? You thought Nvidia was done, huh? All right. So today, 1120, right? 1120, 1100, same levels, 1085. What am I looking for today? Pullback longs 1120, right? Pullback longs 1120. That's what I'm looking for today. That would be really nice. If we can get a pullback long at 1120, I would be very interested. Possibly 1130, possibly 1130. Yeah, there's definitely a little level there at 1130. So be careful there, right? You got a little bit of rejection there at 1130. But man, would I like to see 1120. Right? If I can get that pullback today, if I can see if that can be a strong hold today, I would love that. If we can get back over 1130, I would look for that as well. So 1130, 1120, we can zoom in here on the shorter term. We can see yesterday, after failing that 1130 level, we had aggressive downside. So that is going to be a level that you want to see us get above today. 1130 on the Nvidia, right there. Right there, right there. After breaking that yesterday, you saw the flush. So we are going to need to be above 1130. If we can get above that, I like the longs. If we can get a pullback to 1120, I also like the longs, right? On a pullback long. Other level to be watching here looks to be like this 11. It's sort of a weird level. It's like 1142. You could probably call it 1140, to be honest. But if you want to put it exactly where the rejections came in, it's like 1142, so I'd just be a little bit cautious there as well. All right, you can see a little bit of rejection action there from yesterday intraday. All right. AMD. AMD does not want to give up this 164 level. And man, do I wish AMD would just make a nice day, right? AMD just is hard to trust for that upside continuation, but the holds continue to come in, right? You can see it again here. Another 164 hold on AMD. So could there be a long on AMD today off 164? There could be. The problem for me is it's very hard to trust, right? Very hard to trust into that 170, very hard to trust in that 172, into that 175. A lot of rejection spots here in the past. So very hard to trust that upside unless you are in at a fantastic entry point, right? Unless you are really in close to that 164 and you have great risk reward here, it's hard to trust it if you're sort of chasing. Be careful chasing AMD. The upside continuation has not been that strong. We'll see if it changes today. Watch out for that 170, 100 SMA above. Qualcomm. Pullbacks look opportunistic here. They look opportunistic. If this market can reverse and the market can flip strong again and those semis maybe catch a little bit of steam, I am not opposed to this pullback on Qualcomm. All right, this is a normal pullback. We are back into that 202 demand, which held very strong this morning. We are back above that 208 right now. as we speak, which is very key, if we hold over that 208 today, right, if we can reclaim that 208 and hold above it, you could see 211. And if you see 211 and you hold over 211, this could be that next move on Qualcomm. So we know Qualcomm's been a strong name. This is a very structured pullback, right, over the last two, 3 trading days. Right back into demand. There's nothing wrong with this stock here. If the market can remain strong, watch 208 holds, watch 211. TSM, a stock that is at its daily 20 SMA right now, could be opportunity as well. 150. 150, daily 20 SMA. Watch that on TSM. Rejection levels are up here at 154. Okay? I'm actually going to create an alert here at or above that 154. I'm also going to create an alert here. I'm going to create an alert at 208, at or below. I'm going to put it at 208 just so I get an alert if it pulls back. And then I'm also going to set an alert at or above that 211. Okay? So, going to watch those two. If we get a hold over 208 or get a push into 211, I will watch those two moves. ARM. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, man. Man, does that just look like a flag to me, huh? Shit. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So, ARM needs to get over, or it is over 120. It needs to hold over 120. It held that 117.50. We need to get over this 123. We got to get over this 123. If we can get over this 123, I'd be eyes on ARM today. Might be ARM day. Go hit the gym. It might be ARM day. Watch 123 on ARM. Definitely watching that today. I'm actually going to set an alert there. Create alert. At or above. That's a very interesting flag to be watching here, folks. All right. What are some more? Dell. I'd probably leave Dell alone, guys. Post earnings, there's better opportunities out there, I think. I would assume Dell stays between this zone today. 135, 151. I'd say Dell probably stays between there, but you could watch those two levels. Let's go to Kava. Kava was our just a sick swing trade this week. Probably one of the best swing trades in a decent amount of time here. We bet about 200% on Kava. Entering that back on the 22nd. I'm sorry, not the 22nd. What am I, crazy? Entering that back on the 29th with the group right here. That is back on Wednesday. This was a next week 80 call that I took my profits on yesterday. Sick move. Sick move from that Wednesday hold. Do we hold above 90? This is very interesting. Kava could be still a long entry above this 90. I would look for a hold above this 90 today. If we hold above that 90, I think you can push back into 96, 97. If you break over 97, my assumption is you're seeing Kava in the 3 digits. Okay? So, 90, 86, 97. Look for some longs close to this 90 level today. If you can catch that, I like that entry point for that continuation. HIMS, I'd watch this one today. We had that squeeze through 20 yesterday, and we're holding right above it. We're holding right above it. I would be eyes on this one today. Keep an eye on that HIMS 20 hold. If you see that hold above 20 on HIMS, I'd be paying attention to this. Could be very interesting. Keep an eye on that 20. Coinbase. Again, Coinbase holding key levels. 232, 50 SMA. Not giving up on Coinbase. Very strong hold here on Coinbase again. The only problem with Coinbase, guys, is 250. Well, 240 and 250, but looks like we're going to probably look to push through 240 today. If we hold 240, you might get your push into 250. We traded this yesterday into 250, but you got to be a profit taker up here. You got to be a profit taker up here. If you can get Coinbase over 250, then possibly a little bit more upside. But you got to be understanding, if you're scalping Coinbase, you got to be a profit taker up at that 250. Apple, a pretty valid hold here on Apple still, of this 190.75 area. Right, you can see that pretty clearly right now on Apple. Right? Pretty clear hold right here of that 190.75 on Apple. Looks like we got to get through the 193 though. But I'm probably not going to be looking to trade Apple much today. Other opportunities out there, in my opinion. Oh, SMCI. So SMCI holding 800, a very important hold for SMCI. Let's zoom in on this. For the moment, we are holding 800. We are holding the 100 SMA on SMCI. We need to get above 830. We need to get above 830. Really, we need to get above 850, to be quite honest, before I'm even interested. Right? Look at that right there. Really, I would say we need to be above 850. 850 in the daily 20, that could be another rejection spot. So I'd be careful here. SMCI just hasn't had the strength. So be careful looking for SMCI. 850 in the 20 SMA is where you want that over. I'm not really that interested in Amazon or Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft just tapped that 100 SMA and is holding very aggressively. Let's get these levels right for a second here. 424, we broke below it. And we're looking at 420 today. 419, yeah, 420. 419, 420 on Microsoft, you can see right here. Previous high, previous low. You're coming right back into that daily 20. So watch out for 419, 420 on Microsoft. All right. Did I miss any? Netflix Meta. Go Netflix Meta. Netflix. 643. Holding very nicely. What level do you have to be careful of today? 652. All right, 652. I'm going to put an alert there, actually. At or above 652. I'd watch that. I'd watch that. 652 on Netflix. See if that can get above. Meta, same exact level. Same exact level. Again. 463. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 463. Creating upside on Meta. Continue to look long off 463. Be careful at this 4. I sort of want to push this higher. I sort of like this 4. I think it's 475. I think it's 475. Yeah, it is 475. So 463 to 475. That's your range. You want to be long down here, close to that 100, close to that 20 SMA. Oh, last one. Except I'm probably not interested in it now. No, I'm not interested in it now because the market is up. I was interested in this if the market was down. Would be that Carvana gap fill continuation. But I don't think that will work today if the market's up. Nasdaq. Let's go quick review before we end the live stream and we close out the week, guys. Right now, the Nasdaq is back over some key levels. So let's go ahead and adjust these levels real quick. We got to be looking for holds of 570 now and holds of 635. If we hold 635, we push into that 760. On the ES, wow, pretty big ES move. Right back into 52.75. So 52.75 is our level. Right there. 20 SMA. Keep everything open today. Keep all options open, okay? What did we talk about before this data? We did talk about the upside into the 20 SMA creating an opportunity lower. Keep that idea. Don't let it supersede other ideas, but make sure you understand that that is possible. okay? Don't let it bias your trading today. But make sure you know that longing into the 52.75, longing into the daily 20 on the ES is something to be careful of, okay? Be careful there. All right? All right, guys. If you guys could, we got, how many people we got here? We got 1,700. Oh, we got 1,000 likes. All right. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate the support. Good luck today. Watch those charts. Watch those levels we talked about. Make sure you watch that ES level. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Pray for me on Saturday. All right. Give me a prayer. Give me a prayer. We need a Saturday win from the Rangers out in Florida. Have a fantastic weekend. Be safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. And I will see you guys on Monday. Peace out.